Yo, we're live. Maybe having too much fun with that thumbnail, if that got you in here. That was a hoot putting that together. Welcome to Thursday Night Grind live style. I've lost track of what episode we're on in the Thursday Night Grind now. And so there's a whole playlist there if you're interested in seeing a bunch of videos on sharpening. I got a couple of things to go through today with you. It's kitchen knives again, sort of. It's this global came in and it has some chips in it, and I just want to show you how I'm going to get those out. It is one of a batch of several knives that, if we're in the mood, we'll work on together. But to kick things off, I wanted to get your opinion on something. So I'm going to bring you over here to the bench. This also, I'm not super skilled at like setting the live stream up and all that. So it seems that it takes a little bit for some people to show. So I'm going to burn a little time, but this is good too. There's 3 people in here. Yo, and if you're in here, last week the chat wasn't working for me. So if you are in here and could just give a shout out, maybe like let me know where you are or something so that I could see if my chat is working. Here, let me see. Hello. Hello from New Hampshire. All right, weigh in. Let me know where you're from or something. I really just want to know if my chat is working because last time it wasn't, and Doug had to fill me in. May not be visible. I'm getting this weird pop out. All right, well, whatever. I hope it works. All right. So first, I just want to talk about these, and you can correct me here, the Grandfusch Brook. You got these 2 hatchets that came in. Super sweet. And but there's an issue going on. So let me see if I can get you over here and get in on this a little bit because I want your opinion. Cast a little light on this. And if you're missing it in the chat, you can just weigh in the comments later as well. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. Let me see if I can get this to... I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it. If I go this way and do this. There we go. Focus that baby in. So it's chipped up, right? And like it doesn't look like much, but what we're looking at here is look how thick that is. Like it actually is a lot of grinding, right? So here's the question though. Look, check out this edge. Pretty sweet, convex, nice, not mirror, but pretty nice finish to it. If there is a flat bevel on it, it's pretty indistinguishable. So the question is, in pulling that chip out, do we keep it, do we do it all with the like slack belt, convex grind, the whole thing? Or do we do flat grinds to get past that and to put a flat edge on it? Flat bevel for the edge. Same thing going on this one. And it is, that's huge. Like that's catching my nail on it. So that's a big deal. And yo, thanks for the thumbs up if you're in here. And pop out chat. All right, so I'm trying the chat thing. If you could leave, if you're in here and watching this, could you leave a note so that I can learn how to use this platform better? I just want to know if I can see it. Yeah, Mike, thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right, it's up. It works. Okay, so whatever. There's my dilemma there. Flat grind. This one almost is flat, but it's still huge. Look how big that is. That's a lot of grinding. So, still figuring that out. Got a note out to the owner of these to see how he wants to go about it. But while I have you on the bench, if you had any input, I would welcome it on how to handle these beautiful hatchets. I really like these. Man, wouldn't that be great at the campsite? Ah, it's just such a beauty. But the reason we are here today is to work on this global. I got you on the bench. Here's really what's going on. Not uncommon to globals. Bring the focus in here if I can. Pretty chipped up, right? I mean, not terrible. Like, I don't know, you do this for a while, you see much worse, but definitely a bit of extra grinding to go into that. And I just kind of want to go over to the 1x30 and get that out for you, show how I'm going to do it. So without further ado, let me reconfigure my camera and we'll do that dance. Mike, I hope you're doing well, man. Haven't connected in a while. Hope you can make it to this week's meeting in the guild. Once a month, we have a live, like, virtual meetup. Everybody's invited to come hang, kind of tell your story, let us know where you're at in your journey, fix any or help, offer solutions to any potential things going on. It's been a lot of fun. I find a lot of value out of them. We record them too. So if you join the guild, you can actually go back through months and months of conversations like this, like that, where we kind of brainstorm solutions and everything from straight up sharpening. Like, we'll do some video. I think I got the twice as sharp in the video last week, or last month, I mean. And yeah, whatever, man. But other than that, it's usually just talking about sharpening, business, marketing, all that. Okay, so I'm kind of set up here. Here's something that I'm going to just kind of show you. This one's not too bad, right? Like, we get them a lot worse. But when I do have to do a significant amount of material removal, I might not go straight in like this, but kind of like, what's that? Maybe close to a 45. Just takes the material off a little bit quicker rather than doing a 20, 18, or 15 degree angle. Now, just a conversation on that real quick with globals, any knife really. A lot of manufacturers will put on their website to sharpen their knives at 15 degrees. And then when I tell someone I do them at 21, occasionally they'll reach out to me and say, I guess it's just happened, like, globals are supposed to be at 15. And my answer is, why? So, and I suppose I should elaborate on that a little bit. If I do hear like the Shuns and globals, like, they can take a 15 degree edge, or even less if they're well maintained. Gets very slicey, very sharp. And the compromise is in edge durability. And most of the customers that I engage with are ones who probably would benefit from a more durable edge than an extremely slicey edge. So even though this knife in the right hands could handle a 15 or 12 or 10 degree edge, I still might put a 21 degree bevel on it, because I feel like, unless directed otherwise, that might benefit my customer more than maximum performance, right? So striking that balance. That's where I stand on that. All right, so we are going to fire this up. I got dust collection going. Turn the 1x30 on. I'm going to talk a little bit here so my mic fixes itself. Let's just see how this goes at angle. What a bit to go. Let's do another one here. That tip needs to be brought back too. Still a lot of material, but so I might do a couple passes a little bit steeper up here on the slack belt. The other thing, that this really high hardness steel, I'm not pushing hard in the belt. I'm really letting the belt do the work on this. It's so thin and it's such a high hardness. If you're not careful, you can end up chipping up the blade while you're trying to actually get chips out of it. So I'm going a little steeper here now. Working on that edge profile. Still got a way to go. Checking temps. It's warming up a little bit, but nothing bad. We're almost there. The worst chip is back here, so I'm up to the slack belt. We're pretty steep. Trying to keep that blade geometry the way it's supposed to be. But I also don't necessarily need to remove as much material at this end of the knife as I do back here. I got to get all the way past this chip though. For really bad jobs, I might put a 60 grit belt on. This is 120. You start doing a lot of grinding, you can end up putting a bunch of heat in the blade, but you can see me going real slow. I can still see it. I did need to bring that tip back. Another way to do the tip is to grind the spine. I like that better, but if you need to pull the bevel back anyway, you might not need to do the spine. The advantage of doing the spine is generally they are thicker at the spine. There's a flat grind tapered down to the edge. So if you do the spine, you keep a nice thin edge. You cut the edge back, you start cutting into thicker material. I get a feel for what the bevels start to look like now if I cut them in. Get that out of my way. Now I can't see. We might make it. Might not be past that tip yet, though. There's still a bit there. Coming in steep again. Keeping an eye on my geometry. If you're just joining in, please feel free to weigh in on the chat. Let me know where you're at. Hit that thumbs up for me if you don't mind. Yo, and I want to thank you guys as well. I just passed 3,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. All right, so I'm cutting bevels now. see what it feels like against the platen. Please know I have a homemade, DIY aftermarket platen backer on here. The platens that come on the 1x30s are straight up steel. And I found that they chattered a lot. Got another chip at the tip. I wasn't following real close. I am putting up a burr now. The one in the heel looks good. Might look at that under some magnification. Actually, if I hold it this way, I can see the burr real nice, and I do see that chip up here. So really, push that burr back. Spend a little extra energy up here at the chip at the tip. Almost got it. I'm close. I'd like to get it though. If I'm doing all this, might as well get them all, right? Look under the magnification here. We do a full pass on both sides, slack belt. Nice and shallow. Checking the burr. All right, that looks good. Let's make sure I'm doing a good one at that shallow angle. On this side. Check that burr again. It's a little weak back there. Still not super strong. Yeah, I'm not totally there yet. It's a shallow angle. One more of those. All right, I'm going to push it back one more time because I like to see it when I go to my next system. Double check that I got the burr, no chips, looks good. Moving on. I'm going to reposition you over my other tools. Now let's bring it down the line with me. Start over here. I got to bring these back. I'm going to do it at 21. Even though Global says 15. Shift dust collection. Fire it up. Let's see if I doubt it, but I'm gonna get you right over here and see if you can. See See that burr moving over. All right, so I'm watching the burr come over on this. We'll talk about that a little more in just a moment. Oh, I was asked about doing an initial cut test. I could have done that, I guess, but you got to take my word based on the chips on this that it would not have cut real well. I'm going to pull that flaky burr off on this felt strip. All right, so now this is a nice lesson learned. Like, part of doing all this is I end up learning a lot because people volunteer information, which I appreciate. And coincidentally, after last week's live video, 2 people reached out to me to comment about beginning the honing process on the same side that you just worked. Again, using Tormek paste on a leather belt here. These are the work sharps. So if I just finished over here like this, the suggestion is to begin honing over here like this. Because the guys in Australia, knife grinders, did a very nice quantitative analysis measuring sharpness. And they determined that there are some marginal benefits to honing that way. Okay, let's do a little cut test on that. One thing, this is, John shared this with me too. He does this and I do, but I don't think I mentioned it last time. It's usually when I'm done with them, I'll just take my sharpening rag and wipe the edge down. If I have any compound on there, it gets the compound off the edge. And then if you're doing a bunch of knives, if that compound can dry, sometimes it can be a little hard to get off. I'll just bring this over here. See how we do here. It's fine. That wasn't great, but yeah, that's fine, right? Ooh, ooh, that's not great, but that's fine. There you go. All right. 6 people, thank you. If you're here, please leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you want to check in. Catch me on the side at matt@AmericanEdgeSharpening.com. Please consider the Guild of Professional Sharpeners if you like the idea of learning to sharpen and then monetizing that in the form of a business and setting up a little bench in your garage or your basement and then bring in some cash that you wouldn't have otherwise had. And then also, if the business aspect is not as interesting to you, but learning to sharpen in and of itself is, then go to sharpening.school and you can take my course on the fundamentals of knife and tool sharpening, where so much more of this begins to make sense when you understand composition of the steel and the metal, what it means to sharpen, how you choose an abrasive to cut steel, to make an edge, how all that stuff works. It can be really daunting when you're just starting and doesn't make a lot of sense. And you just, you end up just believing things like, well, the global says I got to do it at 15 degrees, so I got to do it at 15 degrees, but you don't really understand why. So that's why I built the course, The Fundamentals of Knife and Tool Sharpening, which you can check out at sharpening.school. Last few minutes, if you want to check in on the chat, just say hi. I'd love to connect with you. Otherwise, I'm going to get back to work. I'm going to finish all these other knives off camera, and I'm waiting for the owner of those hatchets to get back to me on how we're going to do those. So business is good. I hope it is for you as well. And that's it. So thanks for being here. And if you're watching this after the show, then please just leave a comment, hit the thumbs up, and like subscribe and do all that awesome stuff. Thanks. Cheers. Oh, hey, Phil. Carpentry, dude. You got to get a new YouTube channel. All right, but I'm out. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate you, man.